Here we go. Today is February 7th already. We're already 1 week into this, 1 week into the month. It is 12:07 in the PM, so we are right about in the middle of the day. We are not in the middle of the frame, though. That's better. It is daytime, so the lighting here is different. I don't like the lighting in the daytime, so I usually try to record my videos at night. We got 10 minutes on the clock. We are doing a video on this channel, and it's still crooked now. And everything's going wonky. Well, there are no edits here. We are doing a video every day on this channel. I'm doing some show and tell. Today, I'm going to do a lot of telling, and I'm going to be showing this. But that's all the stuff. I've been having so much fun. I spend my time now looking around going, what? I could show. Well, I could also. What if I don't know. We're gonna be out of days so soon. We're already 1 week in. We've got about 5 weeks in a normal month, but February's the shortest month. Blow right through it. 28 days. So all right. Well, I'll show you the item. I just washed this, although I didn't know how to get all the way down to the bottom of it. I don't have any kind of washing stick to do that. It was in my cabinet, but it was on the top shelf all the way in the back, and I took it out and I was like, this is dusty. How did it get dusty up there? How did it get dusty? Doors are closed. I guess, you know what it is? The dust is in the air, and then every time you open the door, you get something from the other shelves that you use all the time. That dust is like shoved in there, and it doesn't know where to go, so it floats up to the top, and it's like, I'm going to go on this glass. And all the other glasses probably get a little bit of dust on them, but these ones at the top that never get used. So this is from my top shelf. It sits there next to other glasses that I never use, like when you go to like Rainforest Cafe or Planet Hollywood, and they're like, well, it comes in a souvenir glass. And you're like, well, I must buy that souvenir glass. Why I better have this glass that I'll never use again. So there's all kinds of weird hurricane glasses and other, souvenir tall glasses on that top tall shelf, and none of them are getting used. But this one is at least we're looking at it. So this is a nice beer glass, and you can see it's got the WWE logo in the middle, and it says New York. And I'm going to tell you about WWE New York. Let's get this out of the way. We'll put this here, put this on top of it, and then ta-da! Look at that. Look at that. The WWE New York. Now, I am a sucker for souvenir glasses. I can tell you I bought this one at a major discount because I bought this when they were closing down WWE New York. So this was the final days of this weird experiment by World Wrestling Entertainment. It started out as WWF New York because they used to be World Wrestling Federation, and then they changed their name to World Wrestling Entertainment because they wanted to make movies and have other projects, which they've done a lot of, although now I feel they're part of a big conglomerate, so now they'll probably focus. I don't know that they make those movies anymore, but they made some fun ones. I like The Marine, I like 12 Rounds, I like The Condemned, and I liked whatever that one where Dean Ambrose went around the arena and like Rusev pulled a gun on him and stuff. Those were fun. Those were weird, fun movies. Oh, by the way, I shaved. I was unshaven yesterday, so I'm shaved for you guys. So I liked the WWE. I liked wrestling. Actually, I was not. When they changed that name and they started saying WWE, it was until like last year that I finally was like, all right, now my brain now thinks that first and not WWF. But it took me a long time. I also did not like that the logo, it went from having an F over here to just having nothing. They just got just two W's. So, there's no E. So, I don't know. It's a confusing logo to me. But they purchased or rented part of the Paramount building in Times Square, New York City, which I've been to quite a lot. When I was younger, Times Square was a little seedy. Today, it is not seedy. It's kind of, like a tourist destination. It's always been, but it's now, like you can't even drive on it anymore. They blocked it off, and it's like a little pedestrian area. I went through it I guess maybe 2 years ago. When I go to New York, it's not my first destination anymore, but it is nice. It's great. Paramount Building. I think Hard Rock Cafe might be there now. They may have been there before WWE, but I don't know what is in the Paramount Building now. But at one point, it was an old movie theater, and then at some time, Vince McMahon and the WWE decided they were going to rent out that, and they got a multi-year lease. I don't remember how long they were there, but during the time that they were there, they started out as WWF New York. Then they changed it to WWE New York, and then they changed it to the World, and they just called it the World. And they did a lot of weird things there. I know at one point, I think it was Chris Angel was the Mind Freak guy. I know he had a deal with them. And there was one time where he was in like a big jar of water for like a week. And you go by and see him. You're just like, oh, there he is. There's Chris Angel's in there. I saw Hulk Hogan. The first time I saw him in person, not including watching him wrestle, I saw him signing autographs there. I remember me and a friend of mine went there, and we went like a couple hours before the autograph thing, and the line was so many blocks long that we just walked up to the front, peeked through the window, and was like, there he is, and said, well, that's all we're going to get, because we're not getting, that line is going to go till Tuesday. But I always like going there. Now, I went there before my wedding. I went for my bachelor party, and we went, it was a wild and crazy thing. It was me, my brothers, my dad, my father-in-law to be, and my buddy, Jeff was there. And then my best man, my cousin Joe, he was there, and me and Joe loved wrestling. I think most of the other people were not big wrestling fans, but they all enjoyed it. We went in there, and you would go in, and it felt very much like a basement. They had like, it was a weird design that they went with. They kind of had everything was exposed. The brick was exposed. The walls were all exposed. They had like chain link fence everywhere separating things. And then you'd get your menu, and you'd pick out what you were going to eat. You know, what food did you want? Did you want the Rock hamburger? Did you want a Stone Cold Steve Austin slider? You know, you'd pick that from the menu. And they sold these. They had a nice little gift shop, and they sold these. I bought this. I also bought, and I tried to find it for you guys, but I don't know where it is. So I'm betting maybe I dropped it at one point. But I also bought like a pint glass, which was really cool. The pint glass had the WWF logo. Around this time, they also owned a place in Niagara Falls, and I went there as well. So they had a gift shop, and they had a ride, which was like this. It's called the Pile Driver, and it's still there. It just is no longer branded as WWE. But basically, you would go up in this cart. Like, this is you're in the cart with all your friends. You're like, oh man, I can't believe we're in Niagara Falls. And it would take you up, and then it would boom, go like that. And it would take you up a couple times. And so it's like the Tower of Terror, but you're outside. So that was what they had in Niagara Falls. The wrestling one, they would also have like a giant screen and then a bunch of smaller monitors all around. And so when you were sitting at your table, it was like a sports bar, but they were all tuned to wrestling, which I just loved. And that was a crazy era of pro wrestling. That was the Attitude Era. So you would go there, you'd see Stacy Keibler, and you'd see The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Big Show, and just a really fun era for wrestling. They also would do, for their pay-per-view events, they would do wrestling. You could go see the event there, which at that time was hard to watch a pay-per-view. You either had to pay a fortune to watch it at home, or you had to find a place that showed it, which was not everywhere. Today, you can watch it on your phone. I mean, it's a piece of cake to see that stuff. But then you would have to like call your cable company. Like, ordering a pay-per-view event was not easy, especially at the last minute. So I remember going there, and I saw at least one wrestling event there, and they would have a superstar, either somebody that was injured or somebody that was down the roster, and then they'd usually cut to them once or twice throughout the show, and how's it going? And they'd be like, they'd be eating a meatball sandwich with the fans, and they'd say, well, it's going pretty good over here in New York City. But I really like this place. I'm sad it's gone. You can see it in Vanilla Sky, the Tom Cruise movie where they shut down Times Square. You could see it. It was there at that time. So for movies that are made during that time time period, you will see, not this glass, but you'll see WWE New York. It was like a big, beautiful light up, marquee. And so you would see it in the background of films. And then eventually, they moved on. They, their lease ended, they ran out of money, and they moved somewhere else. But that was a real good time. I enjoy wrestling to this day. I like that era, but I really like the 80s into the 90s era of pro wrestling. But that is it. I am out of time. I will see you tomorrow.